Parliament was concluded, and in accordance with Section 78(1) of the Parliamentary Elections Act, Cap 177, the names and constituencies of elected candidates as members of Parliament were published in the Gazette. Noting that under Article 77(3) of the Constitution, the term of Parliament is 5 years from the date of its first sitting after a general election. Further noting that the first sitting of the 11th Parliament was held on the 24th day of May 2021, and therefore the term of the 11th Parliament expired on 24th day of May 2026. Now, therefore, in exercise of the powers conferred upon the President by Article 95(1) of the Constitution, it is hereby proclaimed that the first sitting of the 12th Parliament be held at Kololo Ceremonial Ground on the 25th day of May 2026 at 10 a.m. This proclamation was given under the hand and public seal on the 8th day of May 2026 by His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda. Your Lordship, I beg to submit.
Item number 4, remarks by His Lordship, the Chief Justice.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, honorable members of Parliament, I take this opportunity to congratulate you upon your election to this august House. The journey to this point has undoubtedly required commitment, resilience, and the confidence of the people of Uganda, and we remain grateful to the Almighty God for enabling this achievement. It's now over 4 months since the conclusion of the general elections, through which you were entrusted with the responsibility of representing your constituents. While some of you return with prior parliamentary experience, many are here for the first time. Together, you now constitute the 12th Parliament of the Republic of Uganda. In accordance with the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, I'm here in my capacity as Chief Justice to preside over the election of the Speaker of Parliament. This function is a constitutional duty entrusted to my office under Article 82(1) of the Constitution, which provides for the offices of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. Clause 5 of the same article further stipulates that the Chief Justice or a judge designated by the Chief Justice shall preside over the elections of the Speaker, and thereafter the Speaker shall preside over the election of the Deputy Speaker. Your Excellency and honorable members, my role today is therefore strictly to oversee this process in accordance with the Constitution and the established rules of procedure of Parliament. I'm informed that all honorable members of this Parliament were furnished with copies of the parliamentary rules of procedure. I take it that you have read and internalized yourselves with the relevant rules governing the elections of both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker. However, for avoidance of the doubt, I hereby request the Clerk to Parliament to read the rules of procedure applicable for the election of the Speaker and Deputy Speaker to refresh our understanding of the process to be followed. I thank you.
Rule number 5, election of Speaker. The Speaker shall be elected by members of Parliament from among their number. A person shall not be qualified to be elected Speaker if he or she is a Vice President, Prime Minister, or a Minister. A person who publicly campaigns or causes campaigns through his or her agent in a manner which is in breach of Rule 91 shall be subject to the Code of Conduct for members. No business shall be transacted in Parliament other than an election of the office of Speaker at any time the office of Speaker is vacant. The Chief Justice or a judge designated by the Chief Justice shall preside at an election of a Speaker. Subject to Rule 11, the election of a Speaker shall be by secret ballot. A person presiding at the election of the Speaker shall invite nominations from members present. A member making a nomination shall move a motion that so and so do take the chair of this Parliament as the Speaker, and shall give a brief statement of the background and qualifications of the nominee. Nomination of a member for election to the office of Speaker shall be seconded. A person nominated as a candidate for election to the office of Speaker shall give his or her consent to the nomination. Where one person is nominated, he or she shall be declared elected and conducted to the Speaker's chair. Where more than one person is nominated, the House shall proceed to elect a Speaker from the persons nominated. When all the nominations have been received, the person presiding shall announce that the ballot will now be taken. Voting shall be in the following manner. The clerk shall ascertain the number of members present. Before voting commences, the person presiding shall cause to be produced one ballot paper and cause to be demonstrated the fact that the ballot paper is empty. The person presiding shall cause to be given to each member present a ballot paper. A member who wishes to vote shall proceed to a booth or an area designated within reasonable distance of the ballot box for the purpose of voting, and shall, while in the booth or designated area, write the name of the candidate of his or her choice, fold the marked ballot paper and drop it in the ballot box. On the election of a Speaker, no vote may be cast or abstention recorded by proxy. After all members who wish to vote have voted, the person presiding shall, in full view of the members present, cause the clerk to empty the ballot box and immediately count the ballot papers contained in the ballot box. At the completion of the counting, the person presiding shall announce the results of the voting, specifying the total number of ballot papers contained in the ballot box, the total number of members who have abstained from voting, the total number of spoiled or blank ballot papers, and the total number of votes obtained by each nominee. Where two or more persons are nominated for the office of Speaker, the person who receives the majority of the votes of all members present and voting shall be declared Speaker. Where none of the persons nominated for the office of Speaker receives the majority number of votes of all members present and voting, a second election shall be held between the two persons who obtain the highest number of votes. Where at an election between two nominees, the nominees receive an equal number of votes, another election shall be held. And where a second election has to be held under paragraph I, and two or more nominees receive equal votes in the second position of the first election, there shall be an election to determine the nominee to stand in the second election, and the election shall be repeated where there are ties until one nominee can be identified. The person elected Speaker shall be conducted to the chair. As soon as possible after the election of Speaker, before assuming the duties of the office of Speaker, the person elected Speaker shall, in the manner prescribed by law, take and subscribe to the oath of Speaker specified in the 4th schedule to the Constitution as required by Article 82(10) of the Constitution. In this rule, person presiding means the Chief Justice or a judge designated by the Chief Justice under Rule number 5. The oath of Speaker or Deputy Speaker shall be administered by the President or a person authorized by the President. Thank you. Item number 6, nomination of candidates for the office of Speaker.
I now invite nominations from honorable members present in the House for the position of Speaker. A member making a nomination will have 5 minutes to propose a candidate, and provide a brief statement of their background and qualifications. The seconder will then have 2 minutes to second the nomination. Thank you.
Your Excellency, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship the Chief Justice, distinguished members of the 12th Parliament in your respective capacities. I stand here to move a motion for the election of Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob, Member of Parliament, West Budama Central County, as Speaker of the 12th Parliament. And I proceed to move this motion under Article 82 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda and Rule 5(8) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament. Your Excellency, Your Lordship the Chief Justice, whereas Article 77 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda establishes the Parliament of Uganda, and whereas Article 82 of the Constitution provides that there shall be a Speaker of Parliament and no business shall be transacted in Parliament other than an election to the office of Speaker at any time the office of the Speaker is vacant, and aware that in accordance with Article 77(3) of the Constitution, the term of this Parliament commences today, the 25th day of May 2026. Noting that Article 82 of the Constitution of Rule 5(1) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament provide that the Speaker shall be elected by members of Parliament from among their numbers. Now, therefore, I beg to move that Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob, Member of Parliament, West Budama Central County, do take the chair of this Parliament as the Speaker. I beg to move. Call for the secondment.
The seconder.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, and honorable colleagues, I raise in accordance with Rule 5(9) of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament to support the nomination of Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob, Member of Parliament, West Budama Central County, for election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Your Lordship and honorable colleagues, the person I have the pleasure of seconding his nomination for election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament of Uganda is well known to me, having worked with him in the 9th and 10th Parliament and in Cabinet during the 11th Parliament. During my close interaction with Honorable Oboth, as he is fondly known, I found him a capable leader who possesses qualities that make him suitable to lead this House as its Speaker. Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob is academically astute, impartial, knowledgeable in law, parliamentary procedures and processes, and is fair, firm, and a strong communicator, bold, decisive, goal-oriented, even-tempered, resilient, and emotionally intelligent. Those characteristics will enable him easily command this august House. He will maintain order, facilitate debate, enforce rules of procedure, navigate governance issues, make firm, decisive, sound and rational decisions, manage crises that may arise, and navigate complex political and diplomatic relations. The personal traits that Honorable Maxson Jacob possesses make him a breath of fresh air in the office of Speaker and will make him a successful Speaker. Honorable both Maxson Jacob is known for being a gentleman, calm and measured, an advocate of good standing, which reflects commitment to the rule of law, a capable leader, a patriot, owing to his service in public service of Uganda. He's good at engaging. He's a political moderate. He's a modest person, having risen from a humble background. He's disciplined, composed, and respectful in parliamentary engagement, patient and neutral. Your Lordship and honorable colleagues, basing on the above rich competencies of Honorable Oboth, I hereby support the nomination of Honorable Oboth for election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Honorable Oboth will leverage his more than 15 years in Parliament to building the necessary administrative and governance structures to steer Parliament to greater horizons. I therefore implore you, members, to elect Honorable Maxson Jacob as the Speaker of the 12th Parliament of Uganda. I beg to submit, Your Lordship.
I now call upon the nominated candidate to come and present his consent.
Your Lord, the Chief Justice, I would like to make this statement in support of the nomination of Honorable Oboth Maxson Jacob, Member of Parliament, West Budama Central County, for election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament. Your Lord, the Chief Justice, in accordance with Rule 5, subsection 8 of the Rules of Procedure of the Parliament of Uganda, I have the singular honor to nominate and present to you for election as Speaker of the 12th Parliament, Honorable Oboth Maxson Jacob, Member of Parliament, West Budama Central County. The Honorable Oboth Maxson Jacob, fondly called Oboth, was born on 13th April 1971 in Tororo District. Being an advocate of superior and subordinate courts in Uganda, Honorable Oboth Maxson Jacob possesses a solid legal foundation that equips him with professional skills to preside over the parliamentary processes effectively. Honorable Oboth Maxson Jacob possesses various academic qualifications, including the following: A, Master of Laws, LLM, University of Minnesota Law School, USA, August 2006 to May 2007. He does possess a postgraduate diploma in legal practice from Law Development Center, 2001 to 2002. In addition, he has a Bachelor of Laws, LLB, from Makerere University, Kampala, Uganda, 1997 to 2001. The Honorable Oboth has a certificate in project planning and management from International Law Institute, Washington, D.C., October 2005. He too has 2 certificates in procurement and international property enforcement from International Development Law Organization in Rome, Italy, 2003. He has a certificate in management from Uganda Management Institute, Uganda, 1999. The Honorable Oboth studied and acquired Uganda Advanced Certificate of Education from Tororo High School in 1995 to 1997. He was
Kindly wind up.
St. Denis Sebugwao School
Kindly wind
and
up.
acquired his Uganda Certificate of Education. My Lord the Chief Justice, this varied background coupled with vast legal expertise gives Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob deep understanding of the constitutional governance, parliamentary procedure, rule of law, legislative drafting, and conflict resolution, making him the best suited member to lead the 12th Parliament as its Speaker. Furthermore, Honorable Oboth Maxon Oboth has had an illustrious and distinguished career, serving in various key positions in the political and public service of Uganda, including Minister of Defense and Veteran Affairs, 2024 to date. He was a State Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, 2001 to 2028. He was a Member of Parliament from 2011 to date. He was a Chairperson Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee from 2016 to 2021. He was a Chairperson Committee on Rules, Discipline and Privileges in the 9th Parliament. And finally, he was a Chairperson of the Committee on Natural Resources, also in the 9th Parliament. Lord the Chief Justice was a Chairperson of an ad hoc committee investigating the energy sector in Uganda, 2011 to 2015, and a member of the Parliamentary Business Committee in the 9th and 10th Parliament, where he was also a member Commonwealth Parliamentary Association from 2011 to 2021, and the National President, Parliamentarians for Global Action, Uganda. And your Lord the Chief Justice, he was indeed Acting Principal State Attorney, Head of Mbale Regional Office, Attorney General's Chambers, Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, overseeing the eastern, northeastern Uganda, covering 24 districts of Iganga, Kaliro, Namutumba, Bugiri, Budaka, etc. He was a Deputy Attorney General for Tiengadola Cultural Institution in 2003 to 2010, and a part-time lecturer at the Islamic University in Uganda, the Faculty of Law, 2007 to 2010. He was a board member in several civil society organizations between 1999 to 2010, and he was a founding member and board chairperson, Community Aid, CAN Uganda, and NGO, serving the people in Eastern Uganda. Your Lord the Chief Justice, distinguished members, the Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob is a diligent leader who has immeasurably participated in shaping the destiny of Uganda and served Uganda with dedication and patriotism. The past leadership positions held by Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob as Cabinet Minister, State Minister, Member of Parliament, Chairperson of committees, and civil servant have significantly shaped Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob and prepared him for service as Speaker. Honorable members, the person I present to you today for election as your Speaker in the 12th Parliament of Uganda, Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob has been endorsed by the NRM party and His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and other senior national leaders, and has, since his announcement of his candidature for the office of Speaker, received support from amongst members of Parliament across the political divide and the general public. This endorsement reflects confidence in his ability to lead the 12th Parliament effectively. I therefore have the honor to nominate Honorable Oboth Maxon Jacob for election as the Speaker of the 12th Parliament of Uganda. And I do this for God and my country. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
The candidate nominated, and now I invite you to make a statement accepting the nomination, and you have only 1 minute to do so. Let's adhere to the time. I don't have the privilege in Parliament to switch off the microphone, but I hope we stick to the time.
My Lord, the Chief Justice, honorable members, it is with deep humility, a profound sense of honor, and unswerving resolve to uphold your trust that I accept this nomination to serve as Speaker of this august House.
Any other nomination? Kindly, when you propose, continue to make the statement about your candidate.
Your Excellency, the President, my Lord, the Chief Justice, and honorable colleagues, my name is Chirumira Hassan, Member of Parliament representing Katikam South. I stand here to move a motion under Rule 5 of our Rules of Procedure that the Honorable Mwiru Paul, MP Jinja South Division East, take a chair of Parliament as the Speaker. I beg to submit. My Lord, the Honorable Mwiru Paul, I present before you is the best of our candidates for Speakership of the 12th Parliament, the Republic of Uganda. Honorable Mwiru Paul is a lawyer holding a bachelor's degree in law from Makerere University, a diploma in legislative drafting from the International Law Institute, diploma in law from a Law Development Center. The Honorable Mwiru Paul was a member of the Legal and Parliamentary Affairs Committee in the 9th and the 10th Parliament of Uganda. He served as the chairperson of the Public Accounts Committee in the 9th Parliament. The Honorable Mwiru Paul served as the deputy spokesperson for the Forum for Democratic Change and is now the focal person in the National Unity Platform for Busoga West. His candidature is premised on 4 pillars, but I'll deal with the 2, and the remaining 2 shall be dealt with by the seconder. First is the restoration of the rule of law in Parliament. Honorable Mwiru Paul, our candidate for the position of Speakership, will uphold accountability and the rule of law by ensuring budget discipline, stamping out wasteful expenditure, redirecting money for donations and corporate social responsibility to parliamentary committees where members actually do the work for Parliament. This will be done through internal resource reallocation without increasing the overall budget of Parliament. To ensure accountability to the public, he will ensure adoption of the public disclosure policy where Parliament will periodically publish its output and attendant costs so that the public can appreciate and hold their leaders to account. Secondly, equity and inclusivity. The Honorable Paul Mwiru I present before you, his candidature is premised on treating all members of Parliament fairly and equally. He will ensure that there is equity and inclusivity in the welfare of the members of Parliament and staff of the Parliament and standardized benefits. I present before you the Honorable Paul Mwiru for God and my country. I submit.
Thank you so much. Let me have the seconder.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, honorable colleagues, my name is Sarah Luansasula, and I am the woman representative for the people of Jinja City. In accordance with Rule 5, Clause 8, I also associate myself with Honorable Chirumira, and I am here to second Honorable Mwiru Paul to be the Speaker of the 12th Parliament. In addition to what the nominator has said, Honorable Mwiru will be responsive of the aspirations of Ugandans, and this he will do by ensuring that funding of government programs is increased to match the increased population growth. He will also ensure that the talk about the tenfold growth strategy is matched with resource allocation. Honorable Mwiru is competent, is exemplary, and accountable, so he brings such leadership to the 12th Parliament as a Speaker. Under his leadership, he will cause the reduction of funds to consumptive expenditure and invest more in capacity building of members and staff. In addition, resources will be reallocated to parliamentary committees so that members are adequately enabled to conduct oversight at committee level. Honorable Mwiru will cultivate a habit of budget discipline to ensure that funds are spent only on what they have been budgeted for. All members will be aware of what has been allocated to specific activities so that they can hold his leadership accountable. Dear members, Honorable Mwiru is a man of integrity. He's a man who does what he says should be done. I urge you all to see Honorable Mwiru Paul fit to be our Speaker for the next Parliament, this Parliament, the 12th Parliament. I submit.
Okay, let me have the nominated candidate to step forward and state his consent to the nomination. Please note that you state the consent and nothing else, according to the rules.
Your Excellency, the President, my Lord, the Chief Justice,
Honorable colleagues, I take the singular honor to accept the nomination for the chair of the Speaker of the Parliament of Uganda. I thank you.
Thank you so much. Is there any other nomination? Please nominate and continue to make the statement.
Your Excellency, the President, my Lord the Chief Justice, my name is Oboth Peter, Member of Parliament for Tochi, County Inomoro District. I rise under Rule 5, subsection 8 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure to move that the Honorable Norbert Mao, Member of Parliament for Laro Peche, do take the chair of this Parliament as the Speaker. My Lord the Chief Justice and honorable members, let me give a brief background and qualification of the Honorable Norbert Mao. Norbert Mao was born in 1967 to a mother from Isinjiro and a father from Gulu. He spent most of his formative years in Jinja and had most of his secondary education in the central region. That is why he is commonly referred to as Uganda made simple. My Lord, Norbert Mao had a humble childhood in Lacho and Bobo, where he benefited from the kindness of many. Some of them were total strangers. As a little boy, he herded goats, helped on the farm, and worked as a cobbler, bicycle repairer, and as an apprentice to a tinsmith. His primary school then had no P7 class, but on account of his natural brilliance, he went on to do his primary leaving examination at Magwa Primary School, from where he moved on to Wairaka College for 2 years, and then went to Namilyango College, where he sat for both his O and A-level examination before joining Makerere University. His exceptional communication and interpersonal skills, leadership skills, were recognized early by his peers. While in primary school and even at secondary level, he participated in many debates and seminars where he excelled on account of the courage, clarity, and conviction with which he presented his case. At Makerere University, he was elected president of the Student Guild. At a time when coming from northern Uganda carried a big stigma, he overcame that stigma and rallied students to champion a campaign against the World Bank-inspired policies, referred to as structural adjustment programs. But in reality, it required government in underdeveloped countries to drastically reduce spending on health, education, and livelihoods. The bywords of those policies was cost sharing. The fierce disagreement with the government led to a strike in which 2 students lost their lives, and many were seriously injured when the police was deployed on campus on the 10th December 1990. One of those who was seriously injured was our own late Speaker Jacob Olanya. May his soul rest in peace. The Honorable Mao is ever a bridge builder and peacemaker. Norbert Mao, at just 23 years old at that time, reached out to State House and secured an appointment to meet President Museveni, who received a student delegation led by Mao to discuss how to balance other national priorities with the need to ensure access to higher education for students from poor families, the so-called needy students. That conversation laid the foundation for continued government sponsorship of students in universities alongside private sponsorship. Finally, my Lord the Chief Justice, Honorable Norbert Mao has education, experience, skills, and connection locally and internationally to unite this House to deal with crises of confidence facing the members, leaders, and the institutions of Parliament. Norbert Mao is a senior advocate of 32 years standing. He has an undergraduate law degree from Makerere University and a postgraduate diploma in legal practice from the Law Development Center. He has an associate Bachelor of Arts degree and a Master's of Arts degree in Development Studies from Uganda Matters University. He has a Master's of Dispute Resolution and a certificate in International Commercial Arbitration from Pepperdine University, USA. In addition, he was a 2003 World Fellow at Yale University, USA. My Lord, the Chief Justice, Norbert Mao is the President General of the Democratic Party and until recently, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs in the government of Uganda. Having been appointed following a cooperation agreement between the National Resistance Movement and the Democratic Party, Norbert Mao believes in managing our differences through concessional democracy, where we use points of agreement as foothold to find consensus in areas of disagreement. The candidates I present to you will guarantee the privilege, immunities, and independence of the members of Parliament. There is no better prerequisite for guaranteeing the freedom of debate that representation and oversight demands.
You should be winding up.
Most of like, than having a presiding officer who does not have an overbearing or coercive influence on members and is himself not under the overbearing or coercive influence of anybody. Norbert Mao is a patriot and was a firebrand legislator in the 6th and 7th Parliament. Now returned to Parliament after voluntarily leaving it 20 years ago. He left Parliament and went to serve with the district as the district chair of Gulu District Local Government. That is why he is commonly referred to as Mr. Chairman. He worked alongside others to support the peace process that silenced the guns in the north, in northern Uganda, and laid the foundation for post-conflict reconstruction. God has preserved him through many life-threatening situations in order to serve the country he loves for such a time as this. As Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, he has been a champion of alternative dispute resolution, the protection of the intellectual property of the creative and promoter of access to justice in collaboration with the judiciary. as the political head of the Ministry of Justice, he supported the completion of the new building housing many of the justice, law, and order institutions, saving governments over 30 billion shillings annually in rent. Surely, he will quickly ensure the completion of the new parliamentary chambers so that we don't have to come to Kololo every time we have a grand sitting of Parliament. My Lord Chief Justice and honorable members, in conclusion, Honorable Mao, as the current chairman of the Summit of the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, IPOD, understand what is at stake over the next 5 years and beyond. But at a deeper level, honorable members, Norbert Mao as a candidate for Speaker is not the issue. The issue is what is at stake as we elect the Speaker. And what is at stake is bigger than any candidate. The NRM has lived with Norbert Mao as Minister for Justice and Constitutional Affairs for 4 years. Surely, colleagues, NRM can live with Norbert Mao for 5 years as the Speaker. So let us rise above partisan alliance and embrace the gift of Norbert Mao to the NRM and Uganda. Don't ask why Mao, but ask why not Mao. My Lord Chief Justice and honorable member, I beg to move. Thank you very much.
Let me have the seconder. Please, you have 2 minutes. Don't use more than that.
Much obliged. My Lord, the Honorable Chief Justice, and the honorable members, as per the Rule 5, Clause 9 of the Parliamentary Rules of Procedure, I, Patrick Okello Onguri, the Member of Parliament representing Aswa County in this 12th Parliament, rise on a motion to second the Honorable Norbert Mao to take the chair of this Parliament as the Speaker. I beg to move.
Thank you. The candidate, step forward to state your consent. Please note that as per the rules, you only state your consent to the nomination and nothing else.
Much obliged, my Lord. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, my Lord, the Chief Justice, the honorable members of Parliament, in as few words as it takes, I, Norbert Mao, Member of Parliament for Laro Peche, hereby consent to my nomination to take the chair as the Speaker. Thank you very much. May God bless you.
Any other nomination?
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Your Lordship, the Chief Justice, colleagues, members of Parliament, I'm here on two folds. One, to close the nomination. Two, to move on a matter of procedure under Rule 17, Sub-Rule 1. My Lord, Office of the Speaker carries immense responsibilities, and the 11th Parliament has been alleged to have been the epicenter of corruption. Therefore, I move under Rule 17, Sub-Rule 1, causing for the suspension of Rule 5, Sub-Rule 3, and Rule 10, and Sub-Rule 10, and to allow the nominated members to present their credentials such that we are able to assess whether they meet the requisite governance qualities that can restore public trust in the institution of Parliament and to protect the gains so far achieved. My Lord, it is of imperative necessity that you allow this proposal and you suspend Rule 5, Sub-Rule 3, and Sub-Rule 10, and grant the nominated candidates 15 minutes to address the House, such that we are able to make informed decision. My Lord, the right to be heard before a decision is made is constitutional. Even in the Bible, when Adam and Eve sinned in the Garden of Eden, God first called them to defend themselves before he passed judgment onto them. So today, we are going to make decision to elect Speaker of Parliament. It would be good for us to hear from them and we make an informed decision. Your Lordship, my name is Uchenn Geoffrey, Member of Parliament representing Kyoga North constituency in Amalata district. I beg to submit.
Let me first of all begin by overruling you. Sub-Rule 3 you talk about actually prohibits campaigning by the members nominated. Secondly, Rule 10 only talks about consent. So can we then proceed? In view of the fact that more than one members have been nominated, I now announce the ballot will now be taken.
My Lord, I mentioned Rule 5, Sub-Rule 3, and Rule 5, Sub-Rule 10.
I've already made the ruling. I will not go back to it. No more procedure. Can we please close the nominations and proceed to take the ballot? So given that there is no any other candidate, I have 370 members present who are eligible to participate in the election. And in view of the fact that there is no more candidate, I close the nomination and I proceed to announce a ballot be taken in accordance with Rule 5, Sub-Rule 13. This election will be conducted beyond reproach. Therefore, for the sake of clarity and transparency, I wish to point out the following. Number one, everything will be done in the open, strictly in accordance with the rules. Two, the clerk will ascertain the number of honorable members present, and he has already done so. He tells me we have 370 members present. Each nominated candidate for the position of Speaker will designate an agent to come forward and witness the process of opening the ballot box to verify that the ballot box is empty. Ballot papers equivalent to the members present will be counted in the presence of the agent and put aside. When you, as the honorable member, arrives, you will be given one ballot paper in the presence of the designated agent. You will then go to the designated place to vote for your candidate. Suffice to mention is that the ballot papers are blank because the nominations are conducted from here. However, I'm confident that each one of you knows how to read and write. You will write the name of the honorable member you are voting for Speaker in the blank space provided on the ballot paper. Therefore, thereafter followed the marked ballot paper and inserted into the ballot box in full view of everyone. Voting will be by separate ballot, and there is no voting by proxy. So can I have the agents forward? I'm not allowing procedure. Can I have the agents forward? I'm not allowing procedure. Can we have the agents forward? I'm not allowing procedure. Can we have the agents forward? Agents of the candidates. That is the ballot box. As you can see, it is empty, as confirmed by the candidates. Let me call upon the clerk to Parliament to start calling the names for voting. No, we are going to use the register of all sworn-in members to call the names. But as at the time when I was talking, the number I had received was 370. So that should not be a problem. Yeah. So we shall use the register of members.
Ayo Joyce Makomoy.
I suggest that save time, you read them in tens so that they line up, so that we don't spend time moving.
Ababiku Jessica, Abeja Susan Jolie, Abe Lilian, Abigaba Cuthbert Mirembe, Akamfua Topista, Achan Joyce Okeny, Acheng Jen Ruth Ochero, Achayo Juliet Lodu, Acheng Sandra. Achia Kathe, Achia Lokiru Gabriel, Achia Remigio, Achola Catherine, Achola Catherine, Achom Alobo Joan, Achom Alobo Joan, Achom Esther, Achom Esther, Achon Julius Boa, Achon Julius Boa, Achora Nancy Odonga, Achora Nancy Odonga, Adeke Ann Ebaju, Adeke Ann Ebaju, Adidwa Abudu, Adidwa Abudu. Adome Francis Lorica, Adome Francis Lorica, Ayeku Patrick, Ayeku Patrick, Agaba Gilbert, Agaba Gilbert, Agaba Peter, Agaba Peter, Aguti Sarah, Aguti Sarah, Ahewa Wilba Manyisa, Ahewa Wilba Manyisa, Aine Godfrey Kaguta, Aine Godfrey Kaguta, Agilo Maria Goret Elogu, Agilo Maria Goreti Elogu, Akelo Beatrice Akori, Akelo Beatrice Akori, Akelo Lucy, Akelo Lucy. Akelo Rose Lily, Akelo Rose Lily, Achifeza Grace Ngavirano, Achifeza Grace Ngavirano, Akol Anthony, Akol Anthony, Akorkin Francis, Akorkin Francis, Akoth Angela Zonkire, Akoth Angela, Akuguziwe Ronald, Akuguziwe Ronald, Akuguziwe Lawrence, Akuguziwe Lawrence, Akumu Catherine Mavenjina, Akumu Catherine Mavenjina, Alenyo Marshall Godfrey, Alenyo Marshall Godfrey, Alero Tom Azza, Alero Tom Azza, Alero Tom Azza. Ali Moses, Ali Moses, alinaitwe Silvia Tumuheirwe, alinaitwe Silvia Tumuheirwe, Alion Yok Odiria, Alion Yok Odiria, Alum Santa Sandra Ogwang, Alum Santa Sandra Ogwang, Alupo Jessica Rose Epel, Alupo Jessica Rose Epel, Alieria Dennis Omodi, Alieria Dennis Omodi, Amanio Draville Sheila, Amanio Draville Sheila, Amanya Cohen Champene, Amanya Cohen Champene, Amede Agnes, among Anita Annette, among in Jane Francis Okili, among in Jane Francis Okili, yes. Angura Frederick, Angura Frederick, Angwech Colin, Angwech Colin, Anifa Vangirana, Anifa Vangirana, Anyakun Esther Davinia, Anyakun Esther Davinia, Anyang Janet Hope, Anyang Janet Hope, Anywa Eric Richard, Anywa Eric Richard, Algon Silas, Algon Silas, Awo Betty Ochan, Awo Betty Ochan, Apollot Christine, Apollot Christine. Ariko Herbert Edmund Okworo, Ariko Herbert Edmund Okworo, Arinaitwe Rwakajara Katambuka, Arinaitwe Geneva, Arinaitwe Geneva, Asera Stephen, Asera Stephen, Asimwe Amos, Asimwe Enos, Asimwe Florence Akiki, Asimwe Florence Akiki, Atan Okia Moses, Atan Okia Moses, Atugonza Alan, Atugonza Alan, Atuhoirire Arthur Kazora, Atuhoirire Arthur Kazora, Atukunda Rebecca Mubangizi, Atukunda Rebecca Mubangizi. Atuto Jacinta, Atuto Jacinta, Atwijukire Boaz, Atwijukire Boaz, Atwijukire Dan Kimosho, Atwijukire Dan Kimosho, Atiang Stella, Atiang Stella, Auma Janet, Auma Janet, Auma Kenny, Auma Kenny, Auma Linda Agnes, Auma Linda Agnes, Avako Melissa Naima Gure, Avako Melissa Naima Gure, Avur Janet Pachuto, Avur Jane Pachuto, Awor Betty Engola, Awor Betty Engola. Ayagarachi Jamal, Ayagarachi Jamal, Ayepa Maiko, Ayepa Maiko, Ayo Janeth Febi Obol, Ayo Janeth Febi Obol, Ayume Charles, Ayume Charles, Batum Ben Koryang, Batum Ben Koryang, Vavanga Wilfred Erima, Vavanga Wilfred Erima, Vabirie Kitio Sara, Vabirie Kitio Sara, Vabirie Mili Babaranda, Vabirie Mili Babaranda, Vabura Noel Kateike Matilda. Vabura Noel Kateike Matilda. Vajire Agure Henry. Vajire Agure Henry. Vagore Ngobi John. Vagore Ngobi John. Vaguma Speleza Muhenda. Vaguma Spelanza Muhenda. Vahireira Silvia Tumwekwase. Vahireira Silvia Tumwekwase. Vakashava Christopher. Vakashava Christopher. Vachireke Namboze Betty. Vachireke Namboze Betty. Banya Emmanuel Natal. Banya Emmanuel Natal. Variayanga Andrew Aja. Variayanga Andrew Aja. Variomonsi Chris. Variomonsi Chris. Vasaja Subi Nsereko Charles Kauma. Vasaja Subi Nsereko Charles Kauma. Vaseke Fred. Vaseke Fred. Vasaja Idi. Vasaja Idi. Vatua Timothy Lusara. Vatua Timothy Lusara. Vazanya Matayo. Vazanya Matayo. Vevona Josephine Vabunji. Vevona Josephine Vabunji. Vejira Samuel. Vejira Samuel. Vegumisa Protazio. Vegumisa Protazio. Vaira Emmanuel Wepuru. Vaira Emmanuel Wepuru. Vijirwa Nora Nyendoha. Vijirwa Nora Nyendoha. Vinji Patrick Nyanzi. Vinji Patrick Nyanzi. Virunji Anet. Virunji Anet. Virunji Caroline Nanyondo. Virunji Caroline Nanyondo. Visaso Abdu. Visaso Abdu. Bright Tom Amoti. Bright Tom Amoti. Bukenya Michael Iga. Vyamukama Fred. Vyamukama Rogers. Vyanyima Nathan, Vievisho Sam, Vyuma Oswald Dez, Cadet Benjamin.
Chala Elma Capel, Chanda Bernadette Kodili, Chemonges William, Chemutai Phyllis, Cheotich Rufina, Dramviku Eric Sabiti, Drito Martin Andy, Driwaru Jennifer, Echodu David Calvin, Edakas Alfred Elalu Olale, Ediao Samuel, Edopu Peter Edeku, Ekoro Alex Irukan, Elem Leo, Emajud Peter Paul, Engola Sam, Aaron Tony, Etilu Margaret, Eunice Otuko Apio, Ezama Siraj Brahan. Fungaru Caps Hassan, Gasheja Shaka Stephen, Goire Moses, Gonyi David Robert, Guma David Gumisiriza, Habiara Fortunate, Ibaseret Josephine Kips. Ibrahim Aisu, Ikiriza Knight, Ilukol Emmanuel, Isamat Abraham, Isingoma Patrick Mwesigwa, Ismail Muhammad Lomwa, Itungu Sarah Masereka, Jalameso Fred, Joyo Harriet, Kabasa Balaba Bruce.
Kabanda David, Kabanda Minsa Nabengo, Kabarokole Sarah, Kabasharida Naomi, Kawiye Chofa, Kadaga Rebecca Alitwala, Kafuzi Jackson Karugaba, Kaheru Vincent Freedom, Kahima Moses Mugabe, Kajrenze Twinomjha Wilson. Kaka Lubega Ismail Uthman, Kakoza James, Kakoza Joseph, Kalenzi Victor, Kalisa Jovrin Chomkama, Kambale Ferigo, Kampanya Abdul Swaib, Kamuntu Ephraim, Kanabi Jimmy, Kangwaje Stephen Rakanuma, Kankunda Amos Chibwika, Kansime Anna, Kanushu Laura, Kanyesje Masi, Kapiagon Brian, Karisa John Bosco Loy, Karisa John Bosco Koi, Karim Musa, Karubanga Jacob Atenyi, Karuhanga Gerald Kafureka, Karuhanga Gerald Kafureka, Kaseija Matia. Kasaja George Patrick, Kasigwa Gerald Vihemeiso, Kasidianganda Ali, Kasukali Methusela, Kasule Ismail, Katashumbwa Dixons, Katoko Sylvia Damba, Katushabe Doreen Birunji, Katushabe Ruth, Katusime Adrien. Katusime Annette Mujisha, Katusime Jovia, Kavuma Samuel, Kawalia Abubeka, Kayogera Yona, Kenan Opio, Kenza Agnes Shuma, Kalai Peace, Chibaju Charity Kamhanda, Chichoncho Katabazi Patrick. You can tell me when you're ready. I finish this page. Kiria Grace Padi Wanzala, Kiza Andrew Namitego Kaluya, Kiza Kenneth Nyendwoha, Chikabi Edward, Chinalwa James, Chinobere Habat Tom, Chinshaba Patience Nkunda, Chiruluta Yusuf Junior Keretani, Chirumira Hassan, Chirunji Annette Pamela. Kisa Stephen Bakubalwayo, Kisa Stephen Bakubalwayo, Chiseka Salim, Chitanywa Sowed, Kitty Peter, Kitiyo Patrick, Chiwanuka Abdallah, Chiwanuka Kefa, Chiwanuka Sulaiman, Chimba Emmanuel, Kionga WCB. Chiza Hakim Saula, Komakech Christopher, Komol Joseph Midi, Kugonza Emily, Kungu Samuel Bamuteze, Kutesa Mary Kamuli, Kutesa Patrick, Kuichwin Grace Freedom, Kwizera Eddie Wagahungu, Chambade Amelia Ann.
Kyarampe Rebecca, Kyarikunda Twino Mujuni, Kyeyune Haruna Kasoro, Kyeyune Ivan, Kyogabirwe Jackie Muganda, Lakisa Mase Faith, Lwamwaka Catherine, Lanyero Christine Awany, Lenia Charity Kevin, Linda Irene, Lokap Peter Ken, Logose Sarah Annette, Loki John Baptist. Lokoru Albert, Lokoru Stevenson Yoyo, Lokba Emma, Lokwang Hilary, Lolem Mika Akasile, Loluku Fedil Logwe, Longoli Simon Peter, Mara Zahara Loirika, Mafavi Asha Naburo, Maganda Julius Wandera. Magogo Moses Hasim, Makumbi Henry Kamia, Malende Shamim, Malinga Isaac Maikut, Mamawi James, Mao Norbert, Mariam Seifa, Masava Karim, Masava Mohamud Mutenyo, Maseruka Robert. Rubega George Willie, Lubega George Willie. We called him. Lowila CD Oketayot. Lowila CD Oketayot. Lubowa Sebina Javira. Lugorovi Amos. Lugorovi Willie. Lugwar Benson. Luchamuzi David Karwanga. Lure Eria Eric. Luimbazi Narukora Elias. Rwansasura Sara. Masiko Henry Moses. Masiko Henry Moses. Matembu Chris Wataka. Matovu Emmanuel Magora. Mawanda Michael Maranga. Mayanja Moses. Mbabazi Jacqueline. Balimbura Christopher Kibazanga Taban. Balimbura Christopher Kibazanga Taban. Meme Slivia. Migade Robert Dugwa. Mirembe Lydia Dafain. Modoi Isaac, Mande Julius Rud, Mpata Saleh, Mpindi Bumali, Mubangizi Dedan, Mudiobore Abed Nasa, Mudukoi Fred Oduchu, Mugabe Robert, Mugabe Muzare Martin Kisure, Mugenyi Joseph. Mujira James, Mugisa Margaret Muhanga, Muhenda Ronald, Muhoza Desire, Muhwezi Jim Katugugu, Mujungu Jennifer, Mujuni Asensio Mari, Mukaye Miriam, Muchibi Iriasa Serenjoji, Mukisa Robina Hope. Muremia Ismail Sowed, Murindwa David Simbwa, Musa Noah, Musanje Moses, Musazi Henry Ariganyira, Mushave Rujochi Ruth, Musila John, Mwine Mpaka Rwamirama, Mwiru Paul, Nabaduka Annette, Musinguzi Patrick, Musinguzi Patrick, Musisi George, Mutasingwa Diana, Mutevi Bernard Mugoya, Mutego Ronald Anguja, Mutekanga Zadok, Mutonyi Rose Masava, Muyonjo Hussein, Muzaidi Kamis, Mwesigwa Mathias. Mwiru Paul, Nabaduka Annette, Nabakoba Judith Nalule, Nabawanuka Sumaya, Nabanja Robina, Nabirie Annette, Nabukenya Brenda, Naguja Judith, Najuma Sara. Nakadama Rukia Isanga, Nakawuchi Susan Nsambu, Nakazivwe Hope Grania, Nakasita Betty Mpongo, Nakai Julius Muntu, Naku Fiona, Naku Faith Loru, Nakwede Harriet, Naluima Betty Ethel, Namanya Viola.
Namara Dennis, Namatende Eunice, Namatovu Masula, Nambazira Florence, Nambeshe John Baptist, Namboze Teddy, Namboze Teddy, Namere Justin, Namubiru Rabusheja Margaret, Namuganza Passis Princess, Namuju Sisi Dionysia, Namuju Sisi Dionysia. Namukuta Brenda, Namlondo Sarah, Namtawe Joanne, Nangoli Gerald, Nangoli Umar, Nankabira Anne-Maria, Nankwanga Stella Maris, Nantongo Fortunate Rose, Nanzala Metrin, Nasolo Eugenia. Natumanya Flora, Natulinda Eliab, Nawe Molly Kamkama, Nayevale Sylvia, Naziwa Margaret, Ndezi Alex, Nekesa Christine Situma, Ngabirano Charles, Ngompek Linus, Ninkusima John Paul. Nisima Evelyn, Nirinjimana James Ruji Kaberuka, Nisaba Alex, Nkruma Roland, Nkunyinji Muwada, Namara Annette Oyes Byamkama, Samba Patrick Oshabe, Segumire Muhammad Chibedi, Ntabazi Harriet, Ntale Sereko Madina. Kuria Hafsa Teko, Nyakato Asinans, Nyakato Dorothy, Nyamtoro Fiona, Nyeko Johnson Kezekia, Obiga Rose, Obong Peter Achuda, Obong Vincent Shedrick, Oboth Maxons Jacob, Ochan Patrick. Ochen Geoffrey, Ochai Maximus, Odongo Jeje Abubeka, Odwori John, Ofono Opondo Podel, Ogama Ali Ismail, Ogwal Joseph Jones, Ogwang Patrick Obura, Ogwang Peter, Ojara Martin Mazi. Ojit Peter, Ojok Andrew Olanya, Okasai Sidronius Opolot, Okelo Geoffrey Charles, Okelo Patrick Onguti, Okecho George, Okecho John Francis, Okeyo Peter, Okia Joan Aniku, Okiding Sam.
Okot Boniface Henry, Okot Peter, Okoya John Calvin, Okulo Francis, Okumu Gabriel, Okwere David Becham, Okwi Constantine, Olanya Gilbert, Oleru Huda Abason, Omara Paul, Omoding Emmanuel, Onek Hilary Obalakoer, Onekalit Amere Dennis, Ongaro Obote Kelemen Kenneth. Ongeritho Emmanuel Joe, Ongom Patrick, Ongorok Richard, Ongu James, Onzima Fiona, Opio Samuel Achut, Opito Vincent, Opio Denish Geoffrey, Opolot Isiagi Opolot Okwalinga Simon Peter, Orgumiriza Enid Athaire, Orone Derek, Oriema Simon Peter.